Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to your news edition. These are the headlines. The President of the Republic, Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces, Minister of National Defense Abdelmajid Tebboune presides a Council of Ministers meeting devoted to the adoption of the draft Finance Bill of 2026. Algeria mourns veteran politician Ahmed Taleb Ibrahimi. The President of the Republic sends a condolence message to the family of the deceased. The October 2025 session of vocational and educational training kicks off with more than 385,000 new trainees, a session marked by the introduction of 32 new specialties in various domains. Algeria strengthens its commitment to scientific innovation, from startups and training in Boston to turning ideas into products discussed in Slovenia. In Morocco, social tension keeps growing. Thousands took to streets expressing their anger and fed up from their social situation. Welcome back. The President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces, Minister of National Defense, chaired on Sunday a meeting of the Council of Ministers that began with a presentation of the agenda, including the examination and discuss of the 2026 Finance Bill and two draft bills for the National People's Army Medal and military decorations, as well as a presentation on the irrigation sector. The President of the Republic then gave the floor to the Prime Minister to present the government's activities over the past 2 weeks. Regarding the 2026 Finance Bill, the Council of Ministers approved the Finance Bill, taking into account the following directives from the President of the Republic. He emphasized that the Finance Bill should not include any increases that would strain the citizens' purchasing power. A plan should be developed to update and modernize the structural and technical mechanisms of the National Statistics Office, the creation of annexes to office covering provinces and municipalities so that the government can achieve a statistical vision based on facts from across Algeria, the development of a non-oppressive tax system that is more effective in terms of collection in order to combat tax evasion and negative behavior in the field of taxation. Ensure that the Finance Bill encourages investment and competition and does not include sectoral decisions to attract admiration and populism, but rather to achieve added value and well-studied economic feasibility with guaranteed results. Regarding the presentation on the completion of 5 new seawater desalination plants, the President ordered that the study in the construction of these plants should be further developed, taking into account the provinces that are experiencing fluctuations in distribution. He also ordered that priority be given to densely populated cities experiencing rainfall shortages, particularly in the highlands. Regarding the presentation on the drinking water supply situation, the President ordered that the presentation be postponed and its content further developed for the next cabinet meeting. The President stressed the need for desalinated water from the new plants to be distributed to a distance of at least 250 kilometers from the coast, with a decision on the new location of these plants to be taken at the next cabinet meeting. The President reiterated the need to uphold the state's culture towards the citizens by establishing a well-thought-out water distribution schedule and implementing it strictly. Regarding the draft executive decree that includes the cancellation of the classification of agricultural land, the President refused to convert agricultural land from its original purpose to create public projects, directing the government to adopt other mechanisms to find lands that can accommodate these projects, provided that they are not suitable for agriculture. The Council also approved 2 draft laws establishing the People's National Army Medal and military decorations. The meeting concluded with the approval of individual decisions concerning appointments and terminations of senior positions in the government. And the President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, sent a condolence message to the family of the Mujahid Ahmed Taleb Ibrahimi, who passed away on Sunday at the age of 93. And I quote, "In the name of Allah, the merciful and compassionate, among the believers are men who have proven true to what they pledged to Allah. Some of them have fulfilled their pledge with their lives. Others are waiting their turn, and they have always been faithful to their commitment. Allah has called back to him the late Dr. Ahmed Talib Ibrahimi, a worthy heir to the family renowned for his knowledge and piety. With his passing, Algeria loses an eminent, esteemed and respected national figure. The deceased combined the wisdom of a politician, the level-headedness of an intellectual and the patriotism of a mujahid. These qualities had been his since he joined the General Union of Muslim Students in the 50s, and he never lost them throughout his rich career, during which he held high offices and responsibilities, earning him a place among the great nationalist statesmen loyal to Algeria. In this painful circumstance, I offer you my heartfelt condolences and deepest sympathy, praying to Almighty Allah to grant the deceased His mercy and welcome him into His vast paradise among the martyrs and valiant saints, and to comfort you. To Allah we belong, and to Him we shall return. The Mujahid and former minister Ahmed Talib Ibrahimi was buried on Sunday afternoon at the cemetery of Sidi Mohammed in Algiers, with the presence of government's high executives, national figures, family and friends of the deceased. Algeria has lost a mujahid and a politician. Ahmed Talib Ibrahimi, son of Sheikh Mohammed Bashir al-Ibrahimi, passed away at the age of 93. His journey was marked by a total commitment to his country through diplomacy. More with Najah Tiyar.
Algeria is mourning the loss of Ahmed Talib al-Ibrahimi, a distinguished statesman, diplomat and intellectual who passed away at the age of 93. His death marks the departure of one of Algeria's most emblematic figures. Born in 1932 in Stif, son of the renowned reformer Mohammed Bashir al-Ibrahimi, Ahmed Talib grew up in a family rooted in knowledge and patriotism. Initially a physician, he became a militant for the National Liberation Front during the National Liberation Revolution, advocating for Algeria's cause internationally and enduring imprisonment by the French colonial rule. From the moment of independence, Ahmed Talib al-Ibrahimi remained devoted to establishing the foundational institutions of the new Algerian state, fully committing to the public service. The deceased held key ministerial roles, first in education, then information and culture, before serving as foreign minister from 1982 to 1988. He championed the unwavering mission to construct a nation that was sovereign, culturally vibrant and internationally respected. A statesman of a clear independence, he shaped Algeria's global presence. The nation's foreign policy under him was committed to solidarity, justice and non-alignment. Ibrahimi was a man of thought and action, leaving a significant legacy, including Mémoire d'un Algérien. His position consistently urged dialogue, cohesion, and the transmission of values. Until his final days, he embodied integrity, moral conviction, and loyalty to Algeria, values that will continue to inspire the generations to come.
Friends of the veteran politician Ahmed Talib Ibrahimi paid heartfelt tribute to the man with an emblematic journey. Let's take a listen.
I've known him since about 1954, 71 years ago, and his father, Sheikh al-Bashir al-Ibrahimi, was a dear friend to my father. Dr. Talib al-Ibrahimi had spent about 5 years in a French prison. He was a man of dignity and outstanding work ethics. His humanitarian and cultural views were wonderful. May he rest in peace. I've known Dr. Talib, may God rest his soul, in 1961, after he got out of prison. Since then, we became brothers. He was in Paris University in October 1954 to finish his med studies. That's when he joined the National Liberation Front and the General Union of Muslim Students. They chose him as he was fit for all of the requirements. I've spoken to him about the recent events in Palestine as well. He was a patriot and an intellectual who loved his country, a good man and an example to follow. When I heard the news this morning, I couldn't help but cry.
On his official social media account, the President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, congratulated the world champion Nassima Saifi, as well as Walid Farhah, Safia Dillal, Ahmed Mhidib, Abdelhadi Boudra, Linda Hamri, Mohamed Najib Amshi, and Kamal Karanja for honoring Algeria during the World Para-Athletics Championships in New Delhi. He also thanked the technical staff for this achievement. And the start of the vocational year with 385,000 new trainees, 32 new specialties, and 1,100 tractors for vocational training and education across the national territory. The Minister of Vocational Training and Education, Nassima Arhab, gave the kick-off of this new session from media and announced on this occasion the promotion of more than 15,000 workers. In Ouargla province, the new training season started this Sunday. Fresh trainees joined centers offering specialties shaped by the region's needs. Details with Daniel Bahri.
More than 4,000 young people in the province of Ouargla have taken a major step toward building their future by enrolling in vocational training programs this year. Spread across 15 institutes and centers, these specialties are in fact tailored to match the demand of the modern job market.
Our project is an irrigation system powered by solar energy. It works by capturing sunlight through solar panels and turning it into electricity for agricultural irrigation. I completed a training program in networks and telecommunications at the Alawi Mohammed Vocational Training Center. After finishing my course, I now wish to start my own project.
All the organizational and logistical conditions were well put in place to ensure a successful start of the new academic year. Special attention was given to the new specialties, which aims to diversify the local training offer.
The beginning of the academic year went smoothly. Every new student was accepted, and the extra students from the crowd programs were redirected to other fields, for example, agricultural programs.
This new energy shows that vocational training in Ouargla province is growing, adapting and innovating, giving young trainees the chance to learn promising specialties.
The Boston mission showcased how Algerian startups are embracing innovation, global expertise, and entrepreneurial training to strengthen their impact and ambitions. Najah Diyar with the details.
In Boston, the Algerian startup delegation, joined by one of the nation's leading expatriate experts, highlighted how solid principles and purposeful lifestyle can be harnessed as powerful drivers to achieve major investment goals.
It is truly encouraging to see Algeria implementing stimulating and innovative projects with the hope of broadening the vision of Algerian startup founders. Here in Boston, we took part in a workshop where we received valuable advice on successful project development.
The delegation then took part in a conference on corporate database management, emphasizing its role in streamlining leadership tasks and bridging distances.
My advice to startup founders is this: whatever your idea may be, pursue it with passion and don't be afraid to fail in the process.
Such high-level workshops and training sessions broaden the entrepreneurial vision of these pioneers, fostering both practical skills and intellectual growth.
And from the American continent to Europe, in Slovenia, Algerian startups are turning ideas into innovation. A workshop on marketing and intellectual property brought together young creators full of initiative and creativity. Details with Yesenia Hosseini and Daniel Bahri.
Here, where technology meets creativity, the Algerian startup delegation continues its presence in Slovenia, taking part in a special workshop on marketing intellectual property and learning how to turn ideas into marketable products. Under the guidance of Slovenian experts, the workshop began with an interactive exercise to design a simple breathing device that helps people escape fires when visibility is low.
The proposed solution was a mask containing chemical materials that absorb gas and provide clean oxygen.
In the second part of the workshop, participants moved on to a new exercise called Capturing Innovation. It focused on how companies identify and protect their ideas and the stages between the birth of an idea and the decision to register it as a patent or an investment project.
Today we benefited from intensive training by intellectual property and invention experts. This will help us when entering new markets to protect our rights, products and inventions.
Intellectual property is a new framework that startups must give special attention to. They should understand how to organize it properly, locally and globally, especially if they plan to share their intellectual property with international companies.
We received advice to help young people move from a startup idea to a real startup business. With tools like artificial intelligence, training is now accessible, and you don't even need to go abroad.
The Algerian embassy in Ljubljana opened last year, and the Slovenian embassy in Algiers followed soon after. The International Intellectual Property Institute used this opportunity to present itself as a support hub aligned with Algeria's goals to develop and benefit from the cooperation.
The workshop revealed brilliant Algerian creativity and young talents with global vision and competitive spirit. The startup founders presented practical ideas and impressed the Slovenian side, a step that strengthened mutual trust and opened new horizons for collaboration in technology, research and innovation marketing, paving the way for future partnerships that highlight Algeria's place in the global innovation space.
In the occupied Palestinian territories, Zionist war machinery continues its relentless bombardments across various areas of the Gaza Strip. Since dawn, 11 Palestinians have been martyred. 4 of them were waiting for humanitarian aid in the Rimal neighborhood. And in Morocco, anger is spilling into the streets. Thousands of young people are demanding a future free from corruption and despair. Basma Far with more details.
For the 8th consecutive day, demonstrators gathered in cities including Tetouan, Casablanca and Rabat, demanding an end to corruption and calling for better access to healthcare and education services. Protesters chanted the people want an end to corruption, freedom, dignity and social justice. Similar scenes were reported in front of the parliament repeating, "The people want education and healthcare." Tensions escalated as security forces responded with violence. They even resorted to water cannons, tear gas, and in some cases firearms, in an attempt to disperse crowds' efforts that proved largely unsuccessful. There were excesses and even provocations, but our intention was to keep the protests peaceful.
احنا بغينا مظاهرات سلميه بلا شغب عيب وعار اننا نطالبوا بابسط الحقوق.
It's disgraceful that we have to protest for our most basic rights. Unemployment is high, graduates can't find work, healthcare is failing and education levels are declining. After 8 days of social unrest, protests continue to sweep through Moroccan streets against what demonstrators call a corrupt system that has turned its back on its people, responding with repression, violence and hundreds of arbitrary. We will keep protesting in these coming days. We will not stop until our demands are met. With rights trampled, corruption rampant, and social exclusion deepening, Moroccans refuse to remain silent in the face of a system that has hollowed out public institutions and fueled widespread poverty. The demonstrations, largely driven by the Gen Z group, began in mid-September and now counts more than 180,000 members. On this court, continue to shake the country. The group insists on the peaceful nature of its rallies and rejects any form of violence, riots or destruction, while its growing strength has, in their own words, made the Makhzen tremble.
And with this, we come to the end of our edition. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being with us. Have a good night.